Hey guys, it's Jenny coming at you as if I had more than one person watching. Are intros a thing only bigger YouTubers do now, or is it still cool to do them? I don't know. Am I lame now? Oh well, who cares? Just felt like doing it. But today I'm doing an actual video. My last video was 5 months ago, and it was not even a video, to be honest. It was just me on like figurative crack, just ranting. Well, not really ranting, just being super sarcastic about people like trying to compliment you, but they kind of just compare themselves to you, and then it just kind of doesn't work out and you kind of feel worse about yourself. That was basically that whole video, and I don't know, man, it was dumb. And I was whispering too because my parents were in the house and like I didn't want to bother them. But I'm home alone as of recording this, so I can be as loud as I want. Woo! Hope I don't peek the mic. But anyways, so after that, I've always wanted to do like a storytime video, but I can't animate because I suck at that. I can't draw consistently half the time, so animating seems like such a chore. I could never do that. Maybe in the future, but for now, I'm just not at that state with my art. So I'm just doing speeddraw because it's easier, and I got a new tablet, so I can do that now instead of having to have a camera over whatever I'm drawing. But yeah, it's just a drawing I recorded myself doing for some reason. Honestly, there's nothing really special about it. I've been kind of like in a rut recently with my art, but that's not what this video is about. You can do another video on that. This is about school stories because I'm not original. So you might know this because you're my friend and because I have like 3 viewers and like all 3 are people I know. I'm going to sophomore year. I'm in summer vacation right now, but next year I'm going to sophomore year, and yeah, so I'm in high school. I'm still in school. I still have 3 years to go. It's stressful, but I'm getting through it. But yeah, so a lot of these stories are really short because they're from either a long time ago and I don't remember, or I just don't have a lot of stories, but I'm hoping you can find some interest in them. So when I was a little kid, I was about 4 years old, and I went to this program that my school district had. It was like a pre-K program, and it was basically a 4-hour daycare where they teach you like basic skills you need, like communication and the alphabet and things like that. Things are like you're not stupid when you go into the world. This is where I met some of my best friends, like my friend Hem, who is honestly one of my main inspirations for art. Shout out to Hem, I love her so much. I remember one day we were sitting in a circle, as you do when you're in pre-K, and my teacher was talking, and I was talking too. And she said something along the lines of, it's rude to interrupt people when you're talking, or it's rude to talk over people. I think that was what she said. And now, a normal person would take this as, hey, she's saying you're talking over her, and that's not okay. You should stop. But I was a little gremlin with no common sense. So instead I took this as, she's talking over me. So she's apologizing. So I'm going to finish my conversation. And I did, because I only had like a sentence left in the conversation. And then I turned to her and said, you can continue. I don't know why I did this. I was 4. I barely spoke English, honestly. My first language was Spanish. So a lot of the time, I didn't understand what people were saying to me and I just nodded my head. But yeah, it was weird. I don't know why I did that, my god. She didn't really make much of it. She stared at me and then just went back to what she was teaching. And I didn't see anything wrong with it until years later when suddenly I remembered that event and I was like, whoa. what did I say? Oh God, I feel bad for her. Speaking of which, I always wanted to know if I had an accent when I was a kid, because that'd be adorable. So yeah, that was pre-K. That was weird. I mean, the teacher loved me anyway, so it's fine. I didn't know what it meant to get your name put on the board until like a year later. I never got my name on the board, by the way. But I remember in 2nd grade, I always did my homework, which is something that has not stayed consistent throughout the years. I never do my homework now. But I always did my homework. And we had this little color system where there'd be like a stoplight, and it'd be red, yellow, and green. And sometimes there would be like a blue color between yellow and green. Basically, green was good, red was bad, and yellow and blue were like warnings. If you got on red, usually they'd call your parents, or you'd get an infraction of some sort. I was always on green because I'm a goody two-shoes that never gets in trouble. I still have never gotten in trouble in my life, except for like maybe this instance where I wouldn't really call it in trouble because I was on blue, which is like the first warning or something. But basically, I forgot my homework at home. I did it. I know I did it. And I told the teacher that I did it. But she moved me to blue anyways, because I guess rules are rules. So I got on blue, and I was supposed to like miss out on half of recess. And I was like, oh, that's lame. Dumb. I kind of wanted to cry, I think. I don't remember. I probably cried. I cry a lot. And yeah, I was sitting on the sidewalk, and like half of recess passed by, and I said, I should be playing now, because it's been like 15 minutes, right? And then another 15 minutes passed by, and we go inside, and I said, wait, I was only supposed to miss half of recess. What the hell? I forgot homework one time in my entire life, and I missed out on a whole recess, which for me was like the world back then. Like, that was the worst thing that could happen. I was so mad. It was the worst thing ever. I mean, now I don't care. I mean, I still care, because obviously if I didn't care, I wouldn't be talking about it. But I care a lot less now. Then a year later, I was in 3rd grade, and I forgot my homework again, and I did do it. I always did my homework. Every single time, I would always do my homework. And I forgot it. And I was so mad. And I go to the teacher. I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to miss recess. I'm going to be moved to blue, or I don't even know if we had that color system in 3rd grade. And then she just said, it's okay. I believe you that you did it. And for me, I was like, what? An adult trusts me? That still doesn't happen. I'm 15 years old, which some of you might sound like a baby, but adults still don't trust me. I'm not allowed to cross the street by myself. Oh my God, my headphone fell out. But I'm not allowed to cross the street by myself to get mail, let alone have, I don't know, teachers trust me that I did something. I went throughout school, throughout elementary school, from kindergarten to 4th grade. I had straight A's. Suddenly, 5th grade hit. 5th grade was a terrible school year. I hated it with all my heart. I still hate it. I hated all the teachers. The only teacher that was decent was the science teacher, but even he didn't really like my class that much. I guess it's just because we didn't have that much time with him. Like, maybe with his homeroom, he'd have a lot of time with his homeroom, which is why a lot of his homeroom kids liked him. But we only had about an hour a day for him to teach us science and geography and then go to math. But I hated my math teacher, and I absolutely hated my reading and spelling teacher. He had it out for me, I swear. He loved my brother. I have an older brother, he's 6 years older than me. And he always did his homework, he always had great grades, he graduated like a 3.9 GPA. God. And I go into this and expecting the whole, are you blah blah blah's sister? And I'd say yes, and I used to take pride in that because everyone loved my brother. And back then my brother was like a hormonal angsty teenager, so he'd be like kind of rebellious and he'd lie a lot. And the teacher would be like, oh my god, I loved your brother. And I'd be like, yeah, but he kind of lies. He's like, what? No, your brother, he would never lie. And I'm like, yes, I live with him. I'm telling you right now, my brother lies. And they would never believe me. And I'm like, what? So, a few weeks pass by, and we're going from recess, because back then we still had recess. And I left my books outside, so I say, hey, and I go outside to get my books. He says yes. Same thing happens a few weeks later. And again, I'm a very forgetful person, and this is when it really started to kick in. I used to be really on top of my stuff. Like, I might forget something every once in a while, if I was nervous especially, but it wasn't a constant thing until 5th grade. And then in 5th grade, I started wondering if I had something going on, like ADHD or something like that. I probably don't. Back then, I did show a lot of the symptoms. It was probably just part of like my brain developing, but I did have a lot of ADHD symptoms, even though I didn't end up actually having ADHD. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Oh well, it's already said. But basically, he suddenly turned and he's like, wow, you forget your stuff a lot. Your brother would never do this. But like, he didn't say it like that. He like yelled in front of the class. And he would call me out in front of the class. I remember the beginning of the year, all teachers always saying, if you see I make a mistake, correct me on it. And I did, because they told you to. I corrected a spelling on a thing once. I was like, hey, I think this is wrong. And he said, and I quote, how about you correct yourself every once in a while? And I'm like 10 years old at this point. I was shocked because the teacher, he kind of had it out for me, but it wasn't like super obvious. I felt like it was just didn't like me as much because in the past, my teacher loved me. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a teacher's pet. I had one teacher I was a teacher's pet, but I wouldn't call myself a teacher's pet. It was just, I was like every teacher's like second favorite kid. Or maybe I was their first favorite, but they didn't really have a teacher's pet where like I sucked up to them. I didn't, I never did. I just behaved and teachers liked me. And that was the norm. In 5th grade, this teacher hates me for some reason. And it's weird, it's insane, I couldn't believe it. And I was shocked. I really could not believe that this was happening. I was just not okay with this. And yeah, and that continued. First of all, a girl called him out on a mistake like less than 5 minutes later, and he said, oh, sorry, and he fixed it. And it was literally just about a comma. And I noticed then and there, he didn't like me. And then one day I forgot my books in his class, and I walked in, and he yelled in front of his entire class, if you keep forgetting your stuff, I'm going to write you up. Even though the only time I ever interrupted his class, I never interrupted his class before. And I literally told my teacher, my math teacher, who I didn't like my math teacher either, she sucked, but at least she liked me. I told her, I'm afraid to get my books that I forgot, because last time I walked in there, he told me he'd write me up if it happened again. And like, she took pity on me, I guess. So I just borrowed a friend's book after that. And yeah, and then I went to 6th grade, and he treated me like a princess. I don't know, he like suddenly changed, like he didn't hate me anymore. And I'm like, what the hell? A lot of people hate this teacher. A lot of people think he's like funny, but he's not. He honestly sucked. And I'm realizing right now that I'm nearing the end of this video. I talk way too much. I meant to have a bunch of stories, but I ended up like having one short story, maybe 2, I think, and then just ranting about a teacher. I'm sorry. I hope it was at least somewhat entertaining, because that'd suck if it wasn't. if you guys want more videos like this, you can like comment or something. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks guys for watching. I don't know what to say. Okay, hope you like the drawing. Hope you like the stories. Yeah, bye.